Many people believe that small birds like goldfinches or canaries will never get really tame. However, it is easy enough to prove that assumption wrong. In this video I'm going to show you how to do just that and how to tame your bird. I'm going to demonstrate this with Leporello, who is a goldfinch, but this strategy will work for most other birds as well. At first, your bird will probably be very scared and nervous in your presence. Therefore, the initial step is to get him used to you by simply being around. The easiest way to do this is to put your bird's cage near a fairly undisturbed place where you spend a lot of time. For me, this was next to my desk. Initially, your bird might be too scared to even be not all that close to you. In this case, move his cage further away from where you are and decrease the distance to your location little by little every day. Once your bird is reasonably comfortable with you being next to his cage, it is time for the next step. If he's already used to fresh green food, all the better. Try offering him fresh greens through the cage bars. At first, you may want to simply clip them to the cage wall, as I did in this video. A few days later, you can try offering them to the bird from your hand, with the cage wall still between you. Be aware that this can take a lot of patience, but don't give up. As a general rule, the larger the distance between your hand and the bird, the easier it will be for him to overcome his natural fear. So you may want to pick something with a long stem, like a thistle or some kind of wild cereal. Once the bird takes the treat from you at the other end of the stem, you can slowly start to decrease the distance between you and the bird. It is very important to only do this in very small steps, spread over a period of at least several days, so that the bird slowly gets used to you without even knowing it. Since birds need to fly free to stay healthy, you should allow your bird several hours of free flight per day in a bird-proof room, even if he isn't completely tame yet. Once he's reliably taking treats from you through the cage walls, it is time to begin training outside the cage. The process is fairly similar. Get him used to treats being available outside the cage by clipping them onto a perch, and then begin holding them in your hands when you feed them to him. Again, you'll want to start with something that has a long stem and slowly edge closer to the bird over the course of a couple of days. Good news? Since he'll already be used to this procedure from within the cage, this will probably take less time than before. Finally, your bird should trust you enough to take treats directly from your hands. Again, in the beginning, larger treats like thistleheads will work better, but eventually you'll be able to progress to smaller treats like hemp seeds. And if you want your bird to step up onto your finger, it's pretty much the same thing. Hold a treat, preferably something with a stem, in your hand, offer it to your bird and just let temptation do its work. It may take a while for your bird to step up reliably, but it is absolutely worth it. Again, once he's got used to stepping onto your finger when you're holding a large treat, progress to something smaller or different over time. Finally, try letting him step up first, then feeding him a treat. By now, he should have learned that your hand is a safe and rewarding place for him to be, and eventually he'll step up even when there is no treat in sight. And that's really almost all there is to it. There are still a few secret tips and tricks for establishing a deep bond and sense of trust with your bird, which I'm going to talk about in one of the next videos. If you don't want to miss it, feel free to subscribe, and I'll hopefully see you soon.